Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go-to-Market AI, the future of your go-to-market tech stack. I'm your host, Sarah McConnell. And these days, it seems like every company has AI, but on this show, we want to go a level deeper so you can see firsthand how businesses are actually applying AI to solve your business challenges. We're going to go deep into the use cases and showing you live demos of the latest and greatest in AI technology. So with that said, today I'm joined by Cody Farmer, product manager at Sendoso. Cody, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. I will start this by saying we are Sendoso customers. I've used Sendoso for many years, but I have not seen your AI functionality yet, so I'm really excited for this show today. But before we jump into the demo, Cody, can you just tell us a little bit about who Sendoso is, what you guys do, and who you're helping?
Yeah, Sendoso as a concept is something that businesses have been doing for years. Sending swag to employees, sending swag to customers, sending gifts to customers on certain occasions, things like that. What we've really done is turned that process into something that's automatable, it's scalable, and you can basically just plug it into existing processes or other tools that you're already using today. So we're really helping out marketing teams, sales teams, customer success, and we've started to help out HR teams a little bit too with some employee engagement rewards as well.
Oh, that's cool. That is great. So Cody, obviously the main part of the show is the demo, and that's what people come here to see. So with that being said, I would love to jump into a demo here of Sendoso and see your guys' AI functionality and just see what you guys are all about.
Yeah. And one of the things that I mentioned was, helping to scale out the process of gifting. And a lot of what we're looking to accomplish here is how can we scale this out, make it super personalized and scalable. So the first feature I'm going to show is actually just our entry point into using AI in Sendoso. A lot of our customers, we really need to help answer three questions. Who do we send to? When do we send it? And what do we say when we send it? And a lot of our value prop is really around like, hey, do something catchy with the gift to grab attention. But the main value needs to be what your brand is selling. Otherwise, you're just not really accomplishing the goal that you're looking for. So when we started working on this feature, we started out with generated AI messaging tool. And it's like, well, that's exactly what every single company calls their generated AI messaging tool. So we actually used AI to name this feature as well. We are calling it PunPal. So often our customer success team gets questions like, hey, we're running a Cinco de Mayo campaign. What is a cool message that you could send alongside that? So what PunPal tries to do is basically just generate AI-powered puns to include in your messages. And it reads in the product name of what you're sending, and you can provide it context to make it spit out a more targeted pun. But if you just click Get a Pun, it's going to give you something that is pretty generic based on the gift that you're sending. So this one is Pete's. We've got Pete's Coffee, and it's one of our coffee reminders. For e-gifts, it'll just rotate through the brands and give you a suggestion based on that. And you could just
cool. I feel like
clicking.
AI generated dad jokes. So
legitimately, yes. And I've always joked. I've worked at Sendoso for a long time, and I always tell people I'm an expert at automating cupcakes, and I'm an expert at generating puns. Just this is really just the encompassing of what I do in my head when I talk to a customer of Sendoso.
Totally, but I feel we just got into this demo, but what I think PunPal and the fact that you use AI to name your AI generation, I think is just you've got full AI. You guys are leaning fully into it, is being creative, especially I'm in marketing, I'm supposed to be creative, but our sales team is using Sendoso every day. It's hard to be creative or think of something unique and personalized and different. And you hear all the time, generative AI is going to help you do that. But people are always like, yeah, but how is it going to help me do that? So seeing here that a rep or someone could use this, or a customer success manager, to be more creative, especially when you're sending multiple of these at scale, is so useful.
Totally. Yeah. And for the context part of it, you can plug in literally anything, I just learned you live in Arkansas. So if I'm or you used to live in Arkansas, if I want to send you something that is Arkansas related, I could do that. Starbucks to someone in Arkansas.
It's gonna throw a razor.
It'll do a pun based on the information that, this one is adding a latte love to your Arkansas adventures.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it basically just uses whatever it can to help guide the message. And a lot of times all the context a salesperson might have is, where is this person located?
Totally.
That might be it. And, if you can use that, any type of personalization is relevant. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish with this. What I have been personally amazed by is I initially thought of this as like, well, it's PunPal. It's a really fun feature. I'm not sure exactly if this is going to take off with Sendoso's largest enterprise customers, right?
Yep.
Because it's like, it's puns. Maybe they don't want to do that. Immediately when we rolled this, the biggest users were our enterprise customers who just were looking for scalable ways to do creative messaging, basically.
Totally.
Yeah. So really any context you can plug in, you do that. And the other thing I was shocked by is like, a lot of folks have a lot of faith in what this thing says. And sometimes it's just literally they could get a pun, they copy this pun, and they paste it and they send it. I promise you, they don't even look at the message. And it's
that fast.
It's amazing to me how targeted and good it has actually become over time as well.
So people can edit that, I'm assuming. So you say create a PunPal is going to give it to you. Obviously, you have the flexibility as a user to edit that. But to your point, like if it gets good enough and it's learning enough, you might not have to, but you can.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I always advise people like add more context, like make your message more targeted for your brand. But some people are just like, hey, I like the message that PunPal generated for me, and they just blast off with it. Cool. So PunPal is really the first thing. And another feature that we have been working on is GIF suggestions. And we started work on this a while ago. And really, AI just helped make this better. So what this does is basically you can give us a recipient. And if you have interests that you know that they like, you can add those in as well. But if you don't have any context, it will look up what it can about the person and give some suggested sends based off of that.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, the initial use case for this was really like salespeople who are sending to someone and maybe they learned what college they went to so they could come in and put in what college. Over time, it started to expand. It's getting a little bit smarter. And the addition of AI has helped out a ton from that perspective. And right now, it's still functioning off of like a relational database and not necessarily AI altogether.
Okay.
But we're training it right now to like be able to shop our marketplace, be able to shop Amazon as well, because we have an Amazon integration. So we can basically surface Amazon's entire marketplace and just suggest gifts for your recipient based off of that.
That's really cool. Especially that one of the gifts was called Bug Bite Thing Suction Tool at the very top, which as someone who lived in Arkansas and hiked in the outdoors, that's a pretty good gift idea for someone who's outdoorsy.
Yep.
I really like, so I think gift recommendation is really cool. I know our go-to-market team uses Sendoso for a lot of different things, including customer success, and our SDR team and our marketing team uses it. But I know we have struggled in the past with like, what do you send people that's unique and fun? And like some reps are really, really good at it just because it's something that, you know, they maybe have a little more creativity and this is something they enjoy doing. Then we have other reps who are just like, I've hit a wall. Like I can't think of anything cool. So to have AI help you say, based on what we know about them, even just like slimming down the options, like Sendoso, I know your guys' inventory in your marketplace is so expansive, which is fantastic. But having something to help you narrow down that marketplace is really beneficial, I know, for like our reps and our marketing team. We're thinking about campaigns.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the big objectives that and things that we've observed with our customers is like they don't necessarily want to shop our marketplace. Yeah. So if we're not standard e-commerce, you're not going to Amazon to order your bug bite suction tool in general. So the more guided we can give you just direct suggestions. And the end state is like, how can we tie it all together? How can we give you a generated message that's related to the gift and make it as simple as just clicking a button and sending it? And that's the end goal of using AI at Sendoso. We're just taking steps in that direction over time.
Awesome.
Yep. Oh, and one more thing that I want to talk about is we're in early stage on what we're calling like our send signal tool. So this helps us with like what to send and what to say when you send it, but it's not necessarily answering like, when do I send a gift? So another tool that we're working on is the ability to just suggest when it's time to send somebody a gift based on what we learned from other tools. So,
that's awesome. So suggesting like intent data and saying like, based on what we've learned about like your deal cycles and when people engage, like this is the most timely. That's really cool to me because I think as like I manage our budget from a marketing perspective and a go-to-market team. And one of our biggest fears is like wasted spend. Like, and I think we've heard before things that AI can help is like wasted marketing spend. But I feel like this is a really tangible thing where you're like, okay, if I know based on learnings and data that Sendoso can ingest and say like, now is the right time to send this, then I'm more confident going to my executive team and saying, I need X amount of dollars for these really targeted sends. And I know that they're going to work. Like I know based on data and AI is helping me understand like these are going to be sent at the right time. So it's not just sending someone who's totally cold, has no interest, a free gift. And they're like, hey, thanks for this. I have no interest in your product.
Yeah, exactly. It's really just like trying to make us as efficient as possible, get the highest engagement rate that you can get when you send gifts, and overall just improving, your deal cycle and your pipeline generation as well.
That's awesome.
Yep. So really AI is helping Sendoso out a lot from like the three main questions that we look to answer. We've done a lot of like market awareness to drive like gifting as a real strategy as part of your marketing efforts. A lot of people already knew it, but they didn't know tools existed to help them with that. And now it's just making that process as simple as possible using AI.
That's really cool. I know I've struggled before from like thinking of cool marketing direct mail for campaigns. And I feel like I'm already excited about getting off this call and now going into Sendoso and trying to figure out like being able to use these AI tools in the future and figure out within Sendoso, based on our user and our buyer and the things that we know, have it suggest things. Because I definitely know, having worked at Qualified for many years, like you sort of hit a wall creativity and you've used up what you think are all your good ideas sometimes. And I've heard a lot about AI being able to help with that creativity. I, however, know I can just go into ChatGPT and put stuff in there. I'm like, oh, I'm not really, if the prompt's not very good, the answer's not very good. And I like that Sendoso has taken out that part of it. Like you guys have all that data, you know all of these things. I don't have to do as much of the prompting and you can help with the creativity side that I've been struggling with. So that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And from like a development perspective, it's super interesting because the hard work isn't developing. The hard part is figuring out like how to manipulate it to give the best answer. And that's just different than almost everything else that you would develop in product. So
totally. We've been hearing about that a lot on the show, which is like prompting. And when we're learning about AI throughout this whole series is like, people know that AI is useful and they know they can use it. But if you can't, your outputs are only as good as your prompts. And we're learning that like human variability and prompting is not the best. And so it's great that Sendoso is trying to work through that. And you guys are thinking about building that into your product. So it takes out, I guess, that variability of human not being able to prompt very well to get AI to tell them the right things to send, how to send it, what to say, and the timing of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's basically what I'm trying to answer on a day-to-day basis right now.
Awesome. Well, Cody, anything else from a demo perspective you want to show? Otherwise, we can jump into our lightning round Q&A section.
Oh, I think that about covers it.
Cool.
Maybe more to come, but this is where we're at right now.
Awesome. Well, I think this was fantastic. I know I'm excited about using this, so I hope that our viewers are also getting some fun ideas that they can use from a direct mail perspective. So with that being said, Cody, the last and final part of our show is our lightning round Q&A. So a couple questions for you. The first one is, how long has Sendoso been building AI into your product?
We've been thinking about it for years. Like from the gift suggestion perspective, we've been trying to basically accomplish this for a while. It got a lot easier recently, I will say that. Like the expansions that the overall market has made it a lot easier for us to build into it. I would say from a go-to-market and being able to actually really execute things easily, we've been building for about 5 months on the things that you see today.
That's really cool. We've heard this answer a few times, and it is really interesting to think about. People are like, we've been thinking about this for a long time. Like we knew there was a lot of power that we could build in using AI, but advancements in the market have now made it so much easier for you, like Sendoso, to actually build this into the product at a very, very rapid pace. Because like 5 months in what you just showed is incredible. Like there's already some AI functionality there, and to only be building it for 5 months that's so fast.
Yeah, I can remember 2.5 years ago, we were working on like a weighted database to try to suggest gifts. And now there are softwares out there that you could basically just have AI train the weights in your database and like what's it to suggest within minutes. It's something that would have taken a data science team months to figure out previously.
That's amazing. Cody, everything that you just showed today, what is generally available to your customers right now?
So you can start playing with PunPal immediately.
Okay.
And I definitely suggest you do it if you haven't. Like it's actually just fun to sit there and generate puns. Even if you don't use it, it's still fun to click the button, put in your favorite celebrity, like whatever you want to do. The prompt is very good at creating pretty creative messaging.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm like, I feel like our reps could use that and put it into like emails. Like, I think there's like things they could use, to your point, even not with the sends, to like work into their messaging, because also PunPal's just such a good name.
It actually, I love the name so much. It's like the funnest thing I've ever gotten to product market from a product perspective, because if I'm able to make the market say the term PunPal, that is so funny to me.
That's
like,
it. Like mic drop, career highlight. We're good.
Yeah. I'm retiring afterwards. I just love it. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so PunPal available now. You can start using it. The gift suggestions is in a beta state. So you do have to talk to your Sendoso customer success manager if that's something you want to use. And there will be continuous improvement happening to both of these things.
Obviously. Okay, awesome. And now, speaking of generally available to customers, who are some current customers that are benefiting from Sendoso AI, from PunPal, that might be in your beta program for the sending? Who are some of those customers?
Yeah, so what's super interesting is Sendoso did launch a product-led growth initiative this year. And what we've seen a lot of is, we penetrated new markets. We're working with like individual real estate agents who are already doing gifting. We're talking to insurance agents as well who are already doing it as well. We've seen a large adoption, and this is something that we're using as a user acquisition tool, because PunPal is really marketable and really fun to use. So we've seen a lot of adoption from new industries that we weren't previously seeing adoption from. So it's helped from that perspective. But it has also helped our existing customers. And we've got numerous customers that are using these products today, from Patient Pop, Anaplan, Cradle Point, Qualified uses Sendoso as well. But yeah, we've got a lot of folks using these features.
I love that you guys were able to take something that was AI specific and use that to get into a PLG motion. I feel like PLG motion is such a like hot topic right now and hard to get into that market. And the fact that you guys not only got into that market, but are using something that's like generative AI that is so popular and to get into PLG, that's really cool.
Yeah, I think from an overall strategy perspective, like if we can build a really strong gift suggestion engine that tells people what to say when they send a gift also, then that becomes a much larger use case than what Sendoso traditionally works with. Totally. So any steps we can take in that direction are super helpful. Obviously, right now, we are very much building things for our customers, is what I will say.
So to that point, AI roadmap, looking ahead, where is Sendoso? You kind of touched on some things that are in beta, but where are you guys looking to take AI and Sendoso in the future?
Really, at the end of the day, we're just trying to become the most intelligent sending platform that we can be. So it's figuring out how to tell people when is the best time to send to get engagement, figuring out how to, like the employee engagement thing is a big one for us too, because, we've already got customers who their managers want to send them a gift. They know things about their employee. And if we can capture that and then tell them like, hey, it's your employee's birthday, you should send them something from this category. That's like the dream for us, is like just making those questions as easy as possible to answer. And I don't know the exact path that we'll take to get there, but I do know that that is the direction that we're going. And I know that what is out there from an AI perspective is going to help us get there for sure.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And you mentioned it during your demo. It'll be a slow evolution over time, but there will be small steps to get you to sending the exact right thing at the exact right time with the exact right messaging. That's just not going to happen overnight. Like, you guys will do a lot of different advancements. And as AI obviously is going to keep advancing, it'll be cool to see where Sendoso can take all of this, because it looks, based on this, you're talking about like a go-to-market team, and even your from a people perspective and HR perspective, there's so many different use cases I think that gifting can be used across. And when it's powered by AI, I think there's a lot of cool, powerful things that can happen there.
Totally. And I think overall, like the AI abilities that are out there expand far beyond what we are doing today and what anybody's doing so far. So there's a lot of unanswered questions out there. And as I learn things every day, I'm thinking of new ways that we could potentially apply it to help our customers out.
Awesome. And now, last question of the lightning round is, what other AI-powered products is your go-to-market team using and loving?
Yeah, I'd say we use Gong. We've got a couple. We use some of the data collection tools as well that basically run the person and try to learn as much as you can as quickly as possible. We also use Qualified's AI. So definitely an important part of our tech stack too. But yeah, and we use Sendoso also
Obviously,
from a go-to-market perspective. Yeah.
Best power users of Sendoso.
We are definitely power users of Sendoso, and we generate a lot of puns as well.
Yeah, that is. I will say, as a customer of Sendoso, I've received some really good gifts from Sendoso. So I know you guys are power users of it and you're using it fantastic. We've heard Gong a lot on the show. I know they have some really great AI functionality as well. So that is super helpful. Cody, thank you so much for joining us today. I really loved seeing the back end of Sendoso and how you guys are thinking about AI. I know I am immediately going to get off this call and go talk to my go-to-market team and start brainstorming ways that our SDR team can really start utilizing these functions as they come out and as they get out of beta and you guys are rolling out more amazing AI functionality. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And I'm a big fan of Qualified, big fan of using AI. So definitely some overlap here. And it was a great conversation. I'm looking forward to when we go wine tasting in Arkansas.
Yeah, no, you're not. I promise you're not.
All right.
All right,
Thanks, Sarah.
awesome. Thanks, Cody.